back, third grade scholars. My name is Mrs. Tilley, and I'm so excited to be learning with you today. Today we will be completing Unit 3, Lesson 10 of CKLA Skills. And in today's lesson, we are going to practice and review third grade grammar rules, and we're going to alphabetize our spelling words. For this lesson, you will need your skills workbook, your paper, and a pencil. Let's take a look at some of the parts of speech we've talked about so far in third grade. We've learned that nouns are words that describe people, places, or things. We've learned that there are types of nouns. We have concrete nouns and we have abstract nouns. Concrete nouns are common nouns that are general and not capitalized, and proper nouns that are specific and are capitalized. And abstract nouns are types of nouns that a person cannot physically see, hear, smell, taste, or touch. They name emotions or feelings, states or attributes, ideas or concepts, and movements or events. We've also learned that verbs show actions, and that adjectives are words that describe nouns. It's been a while since we've talked about some of these, so let's take a closer look so we don't get rusty with any of our grammar rules. Now let's take a look at some examples of the different types of nouns. For abstract nouns, they are movements or events, emotions or feelings, ideas or concepts, and states or attributes. Concrete nouns that name people, places, and things can be detected by the five senses, like a pencil. What sense would you use to detect a pencil? Right, touch. Cake and movie. What senses would you use to detect cake and movie? Right, we have taste and sight. Another thing that we've learned in third grade is the difference between common nouns and proper nouns. Remember, common nouns are general and they're not capitalized, whereas proper nouns are always capitalized and they're very specific, like the name of a person or a place. Sally is an example of a proper noun because it's naming a specific person. But girl is a common noun. It's general. And notice how it's not capitalized because it's not naming a specific person. Moore Park is an example of a proper noun. This is naming a specific place. But park is a common noun because it's general. And notice again how it's not capitalized. We've also learned about the difference between verbs and linking verbs. Let's take a closer look at some examples. Remember, verbs are action words, like walk, talk, sing, and hop. These are all action words. They describe an action. Linking verbs are words that connect the predicate to the subject it describes, like is, seems, feels, are, and were, and was. We've also learned about adjectives and articles. Adjectives are words that describe nouns, and they often tell how many, or what color, or what shape, like happy, pretty, soft, and 7. We've also learned that a, an, and the are articles, which are a special kind of adjective. Remember, a subject is the part of a sentence that tells who or what the sentence is about. And the predicate is the part of the sentence that tells the action or what is happening. It often begins with a verb. Take a look at this example. The 5 boys is the subject. And what did they do? They went to the creek to see if there were any fish. So that's the predicate. Notice how it starts with the verb, went. Now let's take a look at some of the rules we've learned about sentences. We've learned that a fragment is a group of words that are not a complete thought and lack either a subject or a predicate, like went to the store. Who went to the store? We don't know because this is a fragment. We've learned that a simple sentence is a group of words that has one subject and one predicate, like John went to the store. John is the subject and went to the store is the predicate. And we talked about run-on sentences. two or more simple sentences that run together because they are capitalized or punctuated incorrectly. Like, John went to the store. At the store, there was ice cream. We're missing some punctuation. Notice how these all just run together, and it's hard to read. And in the last few lessons, we've talked a lot about topic sentences, concluding sentences, and irrelevant sentences. Remember that a topic sentence is one sentence, usually the first, that tells the main idea or what a paragraph is going to be about. A concluding sentence is one sentence, always the last, which restates the topic sentence or wraps up the paragraph. And irrelevant sentences are sentences in the text that do not relate to the topic sentence. We want to make sure that our paragraphs don't have any irrelevant sentences. All right, we've done a lot of review today. I think it's time to take a little brain break before we move on. For the next part of the lesson, we are going to play a game, one of my favorite games of all time, Simon Says. And I tell you what, I love playing this with my class because I always catch at least 2 kids every time, guaranteed. Are you ready to see if you're going to be one of the 2 kids I catch? Let's find out. Stand up behind your chair. All right. Simon says, touch your cranium. Simon says, touch your elbow. Simon says, touch your kneecaps. Touch your scapula. Did I trick you? I didn't say Simon Says on the last one. I hope I got you. If not, this next one is sure to get you. Are you ready? Here we go. Simon says, take a deep breath and feel your ribs expanding. Simon says, sit down. Simon says, stand up. Simon says, bend down and touch your tibia. Now, bend down to your other leg and touch your fibula. Did I get you? I hope I did because I didn't say Simon Says. All right, now it's time for us to get back to learning. So go ahead and take a seat and get ready for the rest of our lesson. In the next part of the lesson, we are going to practice alphabetizing our spelling words. Remember, when we're alphabetizing our words, we look at the first letter of our spelling words and sort them first, and then we reveal the next letter and continue sorting. For the next part, I am going to write the first letter of each of our spelling words. If you want to follow along, take out a sheet of paper and do this along with me. If not, feel free to sit back and pay attention carefully so you can be a pro at alphabetizing words. Now that we have the first letter of each of our spelling words, let's put them in alphabetical order from A to Z. We'll start by seeing if we have any words that start with A. What about B? I see one word that starts with B, so we can move it to our alphabetized list. Let's keep going. C, D, E, F, G, H, I see one, I, nope, these are L's, J, K, I see one, L, we have 3, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, I see 2, T, U, and V, I don't see any. W, I see 2. X, Y, or Z. Now that we've alphabetized the first letter of our spelling words, let's take a look at the ones that do not have multiples. Notice how we only have one word that starts with B, so we can go ahead and finish that word now. Before. We also only have one word that starts with E, so we can go ahead and reveal it now. This word is elf. Do you remember which word started with H this week? Right, we had half. What about K? Right, knife. Do you see any other spelling words that only have one letter listed? Right, we still need to complete P and T. Our word that starts with P this week is please. And our word that starts with T is thief. Now that we're finished with these words, we can go ahead and mark these letters off on our chart. Do you guys remember what to do when we have more than one word that starts with the same letter? Right, we need to reveal the second letter. Let's start by revealing the second letter in the words that start with L. Take a look at the underlined letters. Do you see which one of these letters would come first in the alphabet? Right, E. So we can go ahead and move it to our alphabetized section of our chart. Which would come next, O or I? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Right, I would come next. Now that we have alphabetized the words that start with L, we can go ahead and complete the rest of the word. Leaf, life, loaf. Now it's time to move on to the next words in our alphabetized list, which start with S. I'll go ahead now and reveal the second letter. Take a look at the underlined second letter. Which comes first in the alphabet, E or H? Say the alphabet to yourself. Right, E comes first. Which leaves us with H. Now we can complete the rest of these words. Self, shelf. Now we have two more words to alphabetize. I'll go ahead and write the second letters now. What comes first in the alphabet, I or O? Sing the alphabet to yourself. Right, I comes first, which leaves us with O. Now we can complete the last two words in our alphabetized spelling list. Wife, wolf. Remember, anytime you have more than one word that starts with the same letter, you will reveal the second letter and continue alphabetizing until you find the correct order. You guys worked really hard today to review everything we've learned about grammar from 3rd grade and to alphabetize your spelling words. I'm so proud of you, and I want to know how you're feeling so far about what we've talked about. Are you feeling red, confused about anything we discussed today? Yellow, still need a little bit more help with some of the things? Or green, you remembered all of this and you're ready to move on to the next lesson. Remember, if you're feeling red or yellow, to reach out to your teacher so they can help you with any questions you have. I'm so proud of all the work you're doing and can't wait to see you guys for the next lesson. Bye, guys.